Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome to the revision of square root and cube root. Here we will discuss about some questions of extra practice of your exercise of chapter 3. Here in your first question, by observation you have to check whether the following numbers are perfect square or not. They ask for only observation, no need to find the perfect square or find the square of the number. Here we just check with the what number is present at unit place. By checking at that unit place number, we can judge that whether our number is perfect square or not. If unit place is 6, so that means that is a perfect square. But if there is an odd number of 0 within the number, so that number is not a perfect square. And if your unit place is 1, that is also considered as your perfect square. Now your second question is check the following numbers for perfect cubes. Also find the number whose perfect cube they are. In this question they ask for you have to also find the cube of the number, like cube root of the number. Similarly, because like perfect cube is given to you and you have to find the number of which number they are perfect cube. That means you have to find the cube root. Cube root only find by the prime factorization method. If I have a number 1331, when I go with prime factorization method, I got 11 3 times. So 11 3 times means I got the triplet of 11. So I pick only 111 to remove this cube root sign. So that means if I multiply 11 3 times, I found 1331. That means cube root of 1331 is 11. Similarly, 4913 is triplet of 17. Then next is 5832 is triplet of 18. Similarly, 10648 is a triplet of 22. Question number 4. You have to find the square root of the following numbers. In this case you have to go with the square root division method. If you have a number 3721, you make the pairs starting from the right if no decimal sign is there. Okay, so first we will check which number they have to multiply, which will be the divisor. That same should be written in the quotient, like 6 into 6, 36, that is less than 37. So 37 minus 36 give me 1, 21 carry downward, and 6 plus 6 gives me 12. Same row you have to multiply inside and outside. For the next divisor you have to add the numbers which you multiply in the particular row. So here if we multiply by with 121 into 1 give me 121, and my answer remainder is 0. That means 61 is square root of 3721. Similarly, if there is a decimal number, before the decimal you have to make the pair from right to left, and after the decimal you have to make the pair from left to right. It means you have to go beyond the decimal number. Here 6 6 are 36, and if you multiply this row by 36, and for the next divisor 6 will be added 12 and make the space for the next divisor. Now think about the number, which number I have to place here in the divisor as well as in quotient. That gives me multiplication of the number less than 244. So that is 2. Then when you multiply 122 into 2, that gives me 244. Remainder is 0. That means in the quotient there is a decimal also in the dividend. So here same decimal should be you have to keep in the quotient when you have to move beyond the decimal. So square root of 38.44 is 6.2. Similarly, fourth question C part, if you have like mixed fraction 10 into 27 by 64, when I convert it into proper fraction like 10 into 64 plus 27 by 64, that gives me 667 by 64. And when you divide, that gives you 10.421875. Now you have to go with the square root division method. square root division method. Here 10, first 3 3s are 9, 1 is remainder, 42 carry downward after the decimal, and same decimal should be put in the quotient. Now for the next divisor, 3 plus 3 is 6, and make the space for the next divisor 2. Now 62 multiplied by 2 gives me 124, and 62 plus 2 for the next divisor, that is 64. Make the space for the next divisor. Now I found that there will be 2. 642 plus 2 gives 644, and 642 into 2 give me number less than 1818. Whatever number you have to added yourself here, that should be also right in the quotient. So 642 into 2 gives me 1284. Remainder is 53, 534, and 75 carry downward, and make the space for the next divisor. When I found that here 8, when 6448 multiplied by 8 give me number less than 53,475, that is 51,584, that is, and remainder 1891. And here when I look at this division, there is no end of the number, it will goes beyond. So we just round about 3 decimal places and we write approximate with that. That means that is not actual square root of the number, it is near about the actual square root. So 10.421875 square root is 3.228. Next is fourth question, D part. Same thing, when we go with 0.009216, first this is 0. After the decimal, there is a first pair is 0, then 92 and 16. And 0, then you have to multiply 0 with 0 and make the space for the next number, that is 99. 9 into 9 gives you 81, and 9 plus 9 gives you next divisor 18, and make the space for the next here. That gives you after remainder 11, 16 carry downward, and you need number. Which number should be here when multiply with whole number, that gives me number less than 1116. Now 1, we found that our number is 6, because if I go with the 7 will be 7 crosses 11,000, so I move to the back to the 7, that is 6. So 186 multiplied by 6 give me 1116 exact. Okay, so that means my square root of 0.009216 is 0.096. Now fifth question, A part we already done in second question. B part is 3.375. First you have to remove the decimal and make the prime factorization for finding the cube, because in cube root we have to only go with the prime factorization method. Here when I go with the prime factors of 3375, I got 3 times, 5 3 times under the cube root. And if you want to remove the cube root sign, you have to pick one number each from each triplet, 3 5 10. So that gave me 15 by 10 is 1.5. Similarly, fifth C part, if you have to find the cube root, first go with the prime factorization. 343 factorization is 7 3 times, and 27 is triplet of 3, and you choose only one from the triplets to remove the cube root. Next is 300. 3 into 3 by 8, that gives 27 by 8, and 27 is the triplet of 3 and 8 is the triplet of 2, and my answer is 3 by 2. Next, your sixth question is you have to find the square root of some irrational numbers. Here 11. When you find the square root of 11, okay, so what you do, we know that 11 is not a perfect square, but you go with the square root division method. When any number is not a perfect square, so you have to go with the long division method of square root. So here 11, after 11 I take some pair of zeros to solve further. Here 3 3s are 9, 2 is remainder, 0 carry downward, 189. Now next my divisor is 3, and 3 plus 3 gives me 6, 63. Here 3 plus 3 give me the divisor next, and 3 we make a space for the next divisor. Next number, when we multiply 63 into 3, that is 189. What I mark it here in the circle, that number should also be placed in the quotient. Here 63 plus 3 gives me 66 for the next divisor, and now we think about the next number, which should be less than 1100. So that number is only 1, because if you multiply by 2, 6 2s are 12, that will crosses 1100. So better, our required number is 1. 661 multiply by 1 gives me 661, and add 1 for the next divisor, 662. Now when I go with further 6, that gives me 39,756. Remainder is 4,144. So we don't go further because there is no end. If we go further, and we wind up about 3 decimal places, 3.316, and we must write approximate. Similarly, we have to go with the square root of 13. That gives me 3.605. Then next is C part. Question number 6, C part. Then square root of 7, 2.645. When I go with the long division method with the square root, I got 2.645 approximate. That is also not an exact square root, so we write approximate with that. Similarly, 6th question, D part. When you go with the square root of 10 by C method, long division method, we got the square root of 3.162. Next question is 7th question, A part. Here you have to find the square root of the mixed number. First you convert into proper fraction. 13 into 49 plus 39 give me 667, and denominator is 49. When you go with the square root division of 676, I got 26. It means when you multiply 26 2 times, you get 676. Or we can write square root of 676 is 26, and square root of 49 is 7 into 7 and 7, and 26 by 7 is my required answer. Next is question number 7b part, 27.3529. 27.3529. When you go with the square root of this by long division method, 5 5s are 25, 5 plus 5 10, 5 into same row you have to multiply and add for the next divisor. Next number is 2. 102 plus 2 give me next divisor, and 102 into 2 give me 204. Remainder is 31. 29 carry downward, and I think about the number. If I multiply with 3, 104 and 3 is enter in the missing place, and multiply by 3, I got the same 3129. Remainder is 0. That means square root of 27.3529 is 5.23. Similarly, 7th question, C part. 7th question, C part. Cube root of 25 into cube root of 320. So first you have to go with the prime factorization of 320, and by exponent rule we can take common root, because if base are different, power is same, you just multiply the different bases and take a common power as cube. Now we write the factors. Here triplet of 2, triplet of 2. Now only 5 is written 1 times, but here when you go with 25, that is 5 2 times. That when combined with the 325, 5 of 320, it becomes a triplet of 5 also. Now here triplet of 5, 2 and 2. To remove the cube root, we just pick each number from each triplet. 5 into 2 into 2 is 20 is my required answer. Next is my question number 8. Question number 8 is find the smallest perfect square divisible by 11, 12 and 26. Also find the square root of the perfect square. First you have to find which number should be there, which should be divisible by all the numbers. In that case we go with the LCM. LCM of 11, 12 and 26. When I found the LCM 11, 12 and 26, that is 4 into 3 into 11 into 13, that is 1716. Now you have to go with the square of 1716. That gives me 29,44,656. Now you have to go with the square root of that number with prime factorization method. When I check with the prime factor, first it goes on 2 table, give me 14723028, again 2 736164, again divisible by 2 368082, then again 2 is 368082, next is 361347, divisible by 3, again 20449, 11 1859, again 11 1699, 13 13 is 169. Ultimately what I got the pair of 2 2 3 11 and 13. We just pick one number from each pair to remove the square root, like 2 into 2 into 3 into 11 into 13, that gives me 1716. Now your ninth question is, three positive numbers x, y, z are in the ratio 2:3:5. If your equation is given x square by 2 plus y square by 2 plus z square by 2 is equal to 684, then you have to find the value of x, y, z. Now ratio of x, ratio y, ratio z is 2:3:5. That means x is equal to 2a, y is equal to 3a and z is equal to 5a. You apply all the values whatever given in your equation. According to the statement you have given, x square by 2, y square by 2 plus z square by 2 is equal to 684. Now here x we consider as 2a, y we consider as 3a and z we consider as 5a. We take the common denominator, 2a whole square, 3a whole square plus 5a whole square is equal to 684, and when this 2 which is divided on one side move to the another side, that will be multiplied by the term. Now here when power is common for the two different terms, each power should be accompanied as the power of whatever base is multiplied within the bracket, like 2 square a square plus 3 square a square plus 5 square a square is equal to 684 into 2. That gives me 4a square plus 9a square plus 25a square is equal to 1368, and when you add the term, that is 38a square. Now 1368 when divided by 38 gives me 38. Now you have to find the square root. Now next pair of 36 is the pair of 2 and 3. So to remove the square root, we just pick only one single number from each pair. 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Now if I got the value of a 6, so in this way we can find the value of x, y, z. X is equal to 2a, just replace the value of a6, that will be, x value will be 12, y value will be 18 and y value will be 18, and next your last value is z value will be 5a into 5 into 6 is equal to 30. Now your 10th question is same as your 3.2 exercise, only they just little bit change in the statement. Like here, area of square park is given. This is square park, area is given 121 meter square. Find the length of the longest straight road. Longest straight road means if you count the square, if you want to consider the which will be the maximum rod it will cover, so that is the diagonal, because diagonal is always greater than the measurement of the side. So diagonal will be considered as your longest rod. So this way we have to find the length of the longest rod, but before that we must find the side of this square. Side is equal to square root of area, that is square root of 121 is pair of 11, and we pick only one number from pair, so that is the square root of 121, that is 11 meter. Now according to the Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square, base square and perpendicular square, AC is perpendicular, BC is base. So here we just place the value. We got the each side value is 11 square, and 11 square give me 121, 2 into 121, and square root of 121 we already found, that is 11 multiplies square root of 2. Now you have to only find the square root of 2. When you go with the square root of 2 by long division method, that gives you 1.414. When you multiply 11 into 1.414, that gives you 15.56554. When I just round about 2 decimal places, So here is 15.56, or either we can write 15.55 as it is. So instead of writing length of longest straight road up to 2 decimal places, that is 15.55 meter, because next number is 4. If this is 5 or greater than 5, then we can do 15.56 meter. Otherwise it will be, if it is number is less than 5, to make the round of 2 decimal places, so it will be left only 15.55 meter approximately, because that is not the exact value. This is near about value. Now next question is 11th question. First I make you understand what is in this question. Manoj have 535 flower plants. Manoj is a person who has total 535 flower plants. He wants to plant them in his garden in such a manner that the number of plants in each row is equal to the number of total rows. Actually Manoj has a garden. So what is it? This is the rows. Suppose this is the rows and this is the columns. That is a column. Column this one and row this one. So this is the place of the plants. It means how many plants placed in a one row. एक रो में जितने plants आ रहे हैं उतने ही columns हैं और उतनी ही रो है. या दूसरे वर्ड से हम कह सकते हैं नंबर ऑफ रोज इज इक्वल टू द नंबर ऑफ कॉलम्स. सो वी हैव टू फाउंड दैट हाउ मेनी टोटल प्लांट कवर इन दिस एरिया. So it doesn't mean that it will be 5, it may be 535 or less. Okay, because condition is that there should not be any space left in the number of rows and number of columns. Number of plant in each row is equal to the total number of rows. If I have a 3 rows, suppose if I have a 3 rows, that means there will be a 3 columns, because when column and row meet at one point, so that is the position of the plant. So in that case we consider as, if number of plant is equal to x, number of rows is equal to x, number of columns is equal to x. Number of plants we consider as number of columns, because when column cut with the row, so that is the position of plants. So first we will check if Manoj has 535 plants. So what is the perfect square? How can be number of plants in each row? So that means row into column. When you multiply row into column, because you have to find the quantity of plants, number of rows and number of columns. Suppose I just give you an example. If I have a 3 rows, it means there will be a 3 columns. According to that, 3 into 3, that is 9. That means I have to plant only 9 flowers in this, if I have 3 rows and 3 columns. But we don't know how many 3 rows or how many columns are there. Then when you multiply rows and columns, that will should be how many flowers it should be arranged, whatever total number of flowers. So first you check with the square root. When I check with the square root, 535, my remainder is left as 6. So when I subtract 6 from 535, I got 529. When you subtract 6 from 539, that is 529. So if you check, that is a perfect square of 23 into 23. So that is a pair of 23, because we already find the square root. This is, if quotient is 23, when you check with 23 into 23, give me 529. It means in this whole area, Manoj has to plant 529 flowers. Okay, so if 529 flowers can be planted maximum, so each row and each column, there will be a 23 rows and there will be a 23 columns. So that means instead of 535 is not a perfect square. So we will move to the least number that we subtracted from 535, that converted to the perfect square, that is 529. 23 into 29 give me 529. Then maximum plant planted is 529 plants in the garden. I explain you the short way. Short way is that कि मनोज ने एक गार्डन में प्लांट्स लगाने थे, उसके पास 535 प्लांट्स थे, बट उसने इस तरह से लगाने थे कि जितनी रो है उतने ही एक रो में प्लांट्स लगेंगे। तो नंबर ऑफ प्लांट्स को हम कॉलम मान लेते हैं। रो और कॉलम जब मल्टीप्लाई होते हैं वो मेरी क्वांटिटी होती है प्लांट्स की, क्योंकि रोज भी सेम है, कॉलम्स भी सेम है। उस कंडीशन पे 535 को मुझे परफेक्ट स्क्वायर होना पड़ेगा। इफ़ 535 इज़ नॉट अ परफेक्ट स्क्वायर, आई कांट अरेंज, मैं सारे फ्लावर इस गार्डन में अरेंज नहीं कर सकती। ओके, सो फर्स्ट वी कन्वर्ट 535 into the perfect square. So if I got 535, I got the remainder 6. When I subtract 6 from 535, I got 529. So 529, if you check with what is a quotient, if you multiply quotient 23 two times, we get 529. That is the same thing. So that means number of rows should be 23 and number of columns should be 23, and my maximum plant should be planted from 535 is 529. Next, my 12th question. Three numbers ABC are in the ratio 3:4:5. If A cube plus B cube plus C cube minus 3 cube is equal to 4069, find the values of A, B and C. So if A, B, C ratio is given to me 3:4:5, so I consider A is equal to 3x, B is equal to 4x and C is equal to 5x. Then according to the statement, my equation is given A cube plus B cube plus C cube minus 3 cube is equal to 4069. So A value placed under A value, B value placed under B value and C value should be placed under C value, and 3 cube is 27. That is 3x whole cube, 4x whole cube and 5x whole cube minus 27 is 4069. Now this 3x, when you whole power is 3, that means will be considered as both the term power, like 3 cube, x cube, 4 cube, x cube, 5 cube, x cube according to the exponent law. When negative sign of 27 shifted to other side, that will changes to the positive sign. Here now 3 multiplied by 3 times give me 27x cube, 64x cube and 125x cube and 4096 after addition. Now when you add all the numeric part of x cube, that give me 216x cube, and that is 4096 by 216. Now before finding the cube root, so what we do, we just first find what is the common factor to convert into the lowest form. It will be easier for me. So when I find the HCF of 4096 and 216, I got 8. That means each numerator denominator should be divided by 8. That is 512 by 27. Now next you have to find the cube root of x cube and cube root of 512 by 27. Now 512 factors is because you have to find the cube root, then you have to go for the triplet. So I got the 3 triplets of 2, 2, 2, 2 and triplets of 3. So I pick each one number from each triplet and multiply. So my x value I found that 8 by 3. Similarly, x value placed in A, B, C, 3 into x, 4 into x and 5 into x. 3 into 8 by 3, 3 into 8 by 3, 5 into 8 by 3. So that gives me 8, 32 by 3 is 10.67, 40 by 3 is 13.33. Next is find the largest 3-digit number which is a perfect cube. You have to find the largest 3-digit number that should be a perfect cube. Also find the cube root of the perfect cube. First you have to find the largest 3-digit number. If I think about the largest, what is the largest 3-digit number? If I think about largest 3-digit number is 999. But when I go with the prime factorization, this is only triplet of 3. Triplet of 37 is not there. So that means that is not a perfect cube. So I move to the next number. We add 1. So that is 1000. If I check for the 1000, so that is a perfect cube. But problem is that that is a 4-digit number. But I need 3-digit number. So what I check, if 10,000 is the cube of 10, so I check with the previous number of 10 is 9. 9 cube is 729. So if I check with 999, 729 is less than 999, that is less than 1000. So 729 is largest 3-digit number, which is a perfect cube. So we will not choose 4-digit, we will choose this 1-digit, 3-digit number. So when you find the cube root of that, so that gives you 9. Thank you. Have a nice day.